Is your objective behind bringing up this department? What you're looking forward to do, so that type something.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So my name, you're doing a video now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Professor Gloria Rodriguez. I am a psychology professor. I've been here for 25 years full time. 5 years ago, we started a women's center. There was not ever a women's center on campus. Over 55% of our students are female identified.
Okay.
And so we decided to put a team together,
Okay.
start this center to offer workshops and support systems and events, and to have a safe and inclusive space for women to come and get the support that they need. And so we
So nice of you that you have thought of this thing here, and you have also done the survey that there were very less women here.
well, the thing is that we know what the data is from the college,
Right.
and in all of the CUNY Bronx schools, there are no women's centers. So Bronx
Okay.
Community College has the first.
Okay.
We've been around for 5 years. We put together a team of
So
people.
did with this women's center coming up, did you see some improvement in the number of women in the college, or say the kind of help it has been extended to them, so that it becomes easy for them to remain, retain? Otherwise, many times there is a lot of dropout.
Yeah, no, that's a great question because our events are very, very well attended.
Okay.
We keep surveys of how many people come. We do interviews with students. We've had students become a part of the leadership of the Women's Center. So our advisory board is faculty, staff, and students. So those students that become involved in the workshops, the events, the planning of the events are students that stay at BCC. They go on. I have students that we've worked with from the beginning
Yeah.
that are now in their master's and their PhD programs, and they come back to work with us at the center. So it's been very successful.
Very good. So a lot of things in display also, I see you have kept it here, and then it gives a really very appealing sort of,
It's
like
a really
anybody who comes
creative
feels
space.
very
It's a
much warm.
beautiful space.
Yeah.
When we got this
So we
space,
can see this way also.
Just
so
show them the
things
colors.
So that, yeah.
everything in the space is a reflection of the range of who women are and how women identify. It's also a space that we wanted to create that would
Okay.
that would be a creative space.
Yes, yes.
That would be a creative space, and that would be a space where women could relax.
Okay.
They could do their homework. They can connect with each other. You see that there are paintings of women from different cultures because we have.
So what
a
are
very-
what are the activities which you have felt that they are more in demand, and you feel that if such activities are done, then a lot of women will be getting motivated, inspired, and doing a good lot of work, and dropout rate also becomes less, and women leadership can be more created. Yes.
Well, the thing that we have a survey. We
Yeah.
created a survey, which then students fill out, and they let us know what they are interested
Okay.
in.
Okay.
We have found over the last number of years that we've been offering this survey, the number one issue that students want to see more programs and events around is around wellness.
Wow.
Wellness. All ways in which students can deal with stress, can deal with the responsibility they have in their lives, deal with multitasking, and deal with, the issues that we've all been dealing with, right, in our society. So, wellness is really important, and we offered the first feminist leadership certificate program,
Okay.
the second year that we were up and running.
Okay.
And we had 25 women students that were interested in initially, and we had 12 students that finished it. So we
So
gave
these are the
them.
certificates.
We
Okay.
we did it a number of times. So this was
Okay.
the self-care success series.
Okay.
In 2019, we gave them a certificate of
Wow.
engagement.
Okay.
These were the students that participated. We had a lunch with them afterwards, and what has been really interesting, To your point, is many of these students that were here after they did the certificate came back and they were co-facilitating workshops.
Very good.
So
So what kind of support this university also provides for establishing it this more this department can scale up and lot of work can more be done? How the university supports in this?
well,
Is
that
it
has been
self-
a challenge,
Okay.
right? Because this is under the Office of Student Success.
Yeah.
We do have the support, in terms of honorariums that we can give to guest speakers that come in, refreshments for our events, things
So
of that
all those
nature.
things are
So those kinds of things, we get the support from the
But
university.
what you are expecting?
But what we need, I am a faculty member.
Right.
I teach 4 classes in addition to directing
Yes.
this center.
Oh.
What we need is staff.
Right.
We need staff. We need this to be a legitimate office that is staffed appropriately so that we can expand our programs, that we can curate bigger workshops for students, that we can have students come in as work study and do internships here. We need that, right? The way it's working now is not sustainable.
That's it.
Quite honestly, it's not sustainable. I am initiated into an African-centered tradition that holds the deities of nature
Right.
as gods and goddesses. You know that,
Right,
right?
right.
So I am initiated as a daughter of Oshun, and Oshun is the deity of the river.
River, wow.
She's the deity of the sweet waters, of the lakes, of the brooks, of the streams. And so we have the Bronx River
Right,
here
right.
that we have done a lot of work that I have spearheaded community members to clean up
Okay.
the river.
No,
So we've
like
done-
like what I am trying to say, Gloria, that today we have to conduct some social mapping, and we have to connect our student to the river, because
I
unless we
understand that.
just
That's
clean up will not do. Like
no.
a whole lot of data, like a survey study, where what is the psychology of the people, how they think about these things, how they look at the nature, how they look it upon for the livelihood purpose, or how they look at it as a trusteeship. So these are the study which needs to conducted on the periphery of the river and the stretch of it. And that's how I have come here, that although I am here with you for the women's center, but actually I have come for sociology and psychology department.
Yeah, no, I get
because
it.
we are trying to collaborate with every department so that all students get engaged in all this work, and at the same time we get the data and we get the lot of input for the government also. Local government council should get the data for their use, so with which this will be directly impacting on the development of that place. At the same time we can save the river, because right now I'm coming from the earth science department, where I just taught that person who was doing geo mapping and all, but was not aware of the earth map, like Google Earth, how to use, and instantly you can see like how in 1980s how the river was, and in today 2023 how the river looks. So in that we could see how the encroachments have happened slowly, and during COVID period how it is more, and see more urbanized areas have got this kind of pandemic, more deaths, more.
Right.
So from that point of view, sociology, psychology is also a great subject where we have to engage our students.
No, I understand that. I mean, and as it relates to this topic,
Yeah.
I think that what was exciting for me about even, discussing this with you is that we haven't had out of the Women's Center or out of Social Justice Network or any of the organizational structures on campus that are doing work with various communities, with students and outside communities, because most of us are connected and doing work in our
Right.
broader community.
Right.
But we have not done anything that addresses this issue of climate change
Right.
and water.
Right.
And so I think that that's something that, would be a wonderful opportunity for you to do a
Yes.
presentation on that.
Right.
And also to speak about how women are kind of leading
Yes,
that
yes.
struggle, that
How they have
challenge.
contributed directly and indirectly.
Exactly.
So
So I
both.
think that would be
And
really
India, I
important.
tell you, India is actually creating a pathway for that. And a lot of women can learn from that. Because, in India, one of the group is called as Jal Sahelis. Jal Saheli means water friends.
Oh,
So
nice.
women's have become the water friends,
Yes.
and how to save the water bodies or how to create the water bodies
Yes.
so that women's can get help, because almost all the house core work women are doing.
Yes.
They have to fetch water from a very long distance,
Right.
and today potable water is also not much available.
Right.
So how much challenge they face to get that water for drinking as well as for other core. So
Right.
that we can discuss, and how leadership is getting created in the water field, when it is more of a water security and food security issue across the globe going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is, this is a global issue.
Yeah.
And in other cultures, I mean, this is also, very common in terms of rural
Right,
cultures.
right.
We're in an urban environment, and so we have to really think about and look at how is that specific to our environment,
Yeah.
because many of the communities that are on the river, the Hudson River, right, were communities that were primarily of color that have been gentrified,
Right.
and so there's a lot of displacement, all right,
Right.
that has been occurring over the last several years. So I mean, I think that there would be those
What kind of
nuances.
that why the displacement and the color, this thing? Can you little elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, I could take you down there. I
Okay.
can take you and you can see for yourself.
You're
I mean,
right.
you have
We
the
would
South
like to
Bronx.
go.
I mean, there has
Yeah.
been a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, when you speak to Dr. Mauzan, I know he and a political scientist, faculty member from years ago, did a study on the gentrification of the South Bronx. Right, the
Okay.
South Bronx has a lot of history, and has been a predominantly Latino neighborhood. Right. And so of late, I mean, don't quote me on this, but in the last several years, there has been, a lot of development, a lot of the buildings like right on the river.
Yeah, that is
were-
what I saw just now while we were doing the mapping. I said Google
Yes.
Earth, when we were scanning that and mapping the areas, we found a lot of changes, and now we are going to publish a paper on that. That
I would
study is
love
going
to
on
see
with
that, that
So
data. That
I think
would be
that